Hi there, Blinch here, and I'm going to be taking you through Ikaruga on normal mode, explaining how not to die, the safest strategies I tend to use if I'm trying to play the game based on survival alone, and only scoring in places like here where it's very easy to do and very low risk. I'll put some information in the description as well. I'm trying to show that if you're just going for the 1 credit clear, that is, beating the game without having to continue, it's a lot easier than it looks, and the main challenge in this game comes from trying to score. So this part is quite self-explanatory. Shoot things, avoid bullets of the opposite colour. I mean, if you can't do this bit without dying, then maybe this video itself is a bit too much. But the general rule of thumb is, if you're about to destroy something, do not switch immediately afterwards, because you will get tagged by a suicide shot. This section's easy enough. As you can see, the first one goes down without ever firing at you, so you can just hit it with the opposite colour. Maybe release energy, because you will be building up missiles throughout the course of the stage. There's no rush for this big guy, just sit in his beam, whatever. The popcorn in the middle are very difficult to chain, so just wipe them out, and as the trains move across the screen, stay the same colour, switch when you get a chance to come up underneath them and destroy them. And you don't have to cross over through the middle, you can just stay on the right hand side of the screen if that's easier for you. So now we're coming up to the first boss, and as it says on the screen, they are known as Butsutokai, or as me and my friends call them, butt sexy. So our friend Eboshidori here, I'll just murder his name. Easy enough if you just stay the same colour as his main shot, white first of all. Secondly, the shield is going to be firing a black spread, just ignore the white bullets. And you'll build up a bit of energy which you can just release on his next 4. Speed things up a bit. So he fires out these spread mines at the front, just switch to the same colour as them, you can see what they're going to be before they explode. And his secondary attack is these white homing shots. Now stay the same colour, but watch out because they can nudge you towards the black shots. And that's the first stage. I apologise for any experienced players who'll find this probably quite boring compared to a scoring run, but this is not aimed at experienced players, this is to people that want to beat the game. Okay, moving on to stage 2 then. As you can see, I'm using the individual chapters like training mode so that I can just play what I want without having to do a full run. Now this section looks far tougher than it is. I'll just pause it. What you have to do is stay roughly in the middle, just tap left or tap right, move in basically a figure of 8. Now you stay white, and all you're really avoiding in the very middle of the screen in this kind of oval shape is the black shots, and you should be fine as long as you limit your movement. See, I'm barely moving at all. This lot, no problem at all, just destroy them. Here's a good place to start trying to chain things as well if you want to start adding that to your repertoire. Now the easiest way to deal with these circles of popcorn is to do absolutely nothing, because they will time out and leave eventually. If you were to destroy them all, you would be surrounded by extra waves of enemies, so don't destroy them quickly, whatever you do. Now for the crates, just shoot yourself a path through. For these ones, destroy them, quickly turn white, so that you're not hit by the following white shots. The easiest way to beat this next section is to just stay on one side, stay calm, change colour and move into the streams as you reach them. Yeah, you can release missiles there if you want to earn yourself some room. And here we keep to the same principle, in which you don't change polarity immediately after destroying something of the same colour. Let's wind that back a bit, just there. As you can see, you can sit in the black stream there and then to get enough energy to destroy those popcorn, and then switch white to make it through this line of shot and immediately release, and you'll take out the laser ships. I'm not sure what I did there, but there's enough space in the corner for you to escape it. For this section it's the easiest to just once again kind of stay on one side, and the crates in the middle will act as shields from the rest of the bullets if you leave them intact. You'll have ample time to just move to the side and destroy all those spawners. As for this section, you can just safely hang back here and take them out. For this, just destroy the opposite colour, and you can briefly sit in the stream to do so without being hit. What's important there is that you start off at the side and don't be hit by the crisscrossing big lasers. So just sitting in front of one as they appear and taking it out quickly will stop that happening to you. Okay, second boss. The white shot will open the left door, which you can turn black and release, and then sit in front of it doing damage as the door closes. And what you can do in the first instance, if I just pause it when it's first open, instead of coming back down, you can sit directly in front of it and you will destroy it before the door closes if you have opened the door properly all the way in the first instance. However, in order to be safe here, because it can be quite harrowing for an unexperienced player to be sat right in front of it as the door closes, and you also have to be dodging these shots. So here I've decided to in fact just move back and hit it with white shot again to open it back up. Now as these spreads happen, they'll be going left, right, so switch to the appropriate colour as they come near you. You'll have plenty of time. Now when they start firing bullet vomit, bullet bath from these side things is when you can sit right in there and absorb and fire. There's a lot of time after the bullet vomit for you to be able to get in there and finish the job with your shot. Another thing to remember when it's actually happening is just move back. You'll want to move towards the shots as they come out, otherwise if you're towards the bottom of the screen here, you may get caught in crisscrossing colours, and that is a recipe for death. So move in the general vicinity of whichever arm is firing while it is, and you should be fine. Alright, and that does it for stage 2. Alright, welcome to stage 3. Now for this section, just sweep back left and right, destroying everything. It's the easiest way to get through it. Now if you find my prattling, mumbling not particularly useful, just, mute the video, copy what my ship is doing. Second of all, how rude, but never mind. Alright, let's just quickly rewind there. Now you see here when we're going past this upward stream, or even further back actually, yeah, when you're in the black stream, just release missiles and you should be able to take out all of this stuff here. Now there's ample space to get through if you stay black, so that these suicide bullets from these turrets won't hurt you. Or do as I've done and somehow take this out at some point. In fact, you can safely even leave these turrets intact and just squeeze between the white stream here and the whatever this protrusion is. I don't know what to call them. I'll call them barriers. But yeah, it's easy enough. Now it's useful to fire off missiles while you're sat in a stream, because you're going to be sat there anyway and constantly recharging. Now here I move upwards so you can squeeze down under these two little barriers, but what I would do, what you can also do, is come down here before this whatever that is floats over to the left, and switch to white, destroy these popcorn, switch to black again. It's quite simple. Now when you're between these two white streams, just keep firing missiles off and you should take out everything that's in front of you. And now you can hug this wall. Now you can ram straight into this wall, these walls on either side, as long as you don't hit a turret. If they're just blank walls like this, you can touch them without dying. So just sit there and take out all the turrets first before sweeping left and taking out everything else. This bit, just hang down here, destroy everything. And now the chapter begins proper. It was always a bit of a kick in the teeth to me when I was learning this and dying countless times before the chapter 3 text had even appeared. For this section, yeah, I would just stay white the entire time. See, because they fire in a sort of diagonal line, you can destroy them before they touch you, and then if you're one colour here, you've got nothing to worry about. You can have a go at chaining these guys if you're feeling lucky. Okay, for the streams on either side of the wall, pretty self-explanatory. The pattern is white, black, white, black. Oh, actually, it's important to move up the screen a little bit so that any suicide bullets are absorbed and therefore not a threat anymore before the next line of lasers will hit you. Okay, for the popcorn meeting each other, you can sit in this safe spot right here. Now, as long as you're sat there, nothing will touch you. Now, the way I line it up is to make your ship, the middle of your ship, line up with this ridge in the background. I seem to be slightly off center here, but I believe Yeah, even if you're centralized in the ridge, you're not going to hit the ships on the left, so that's a safe spot. And in order to position yourself in the safe spot, um, if you're having trouble, moving your ship there, try little diagonal taps backwards, because if oh no, in Ikaruga it's normalized. Okay, so yeah, what I do is just use little diagonal taps backwards, and it takes a little bit of practice, but usually you should be able to get in the middle without too much trouble. For this section, stay back. You can stay back almost to the bottom of the screen here, just shooting everything, moving left to right movement to avoid the barriers, and then as we come back up here, you want to move forward so that you don't get caught as they close, and if you're firing the entire time, you won't hit any ships in front. Now with this mid-boss following you, always looks a bit like a fish to me, it won't ever move past the bottom, say, quarter of the screen, so you want to be somewhat near its nose, however leave a good buffer zone in case you misjudge the proximity. This is easier the further back you are to weave in and out of the barriers, and again, just keep shooting, and if your movement's good enough, you should be able to take out all the popcorn instead of colliding with it. See, I kind of have this down to muscle memory really, but the movement really does just seem to be left, right, left, right. Okay, now for this mid-boss. If you're not feeling confident, you could just not fire at all and switch polarity and staying within the streams, and you'll be able to time it out, which is a reasonable strategy. Now, for the way I kill it, you'll want to turn black and then shoot the first pod as it goes around. Switch to white to escape these, and then release your missiles as the second black pod comes down. Now, immediately upon releasing, you'll want to switch to black so that you can survive the laser. That should take the first one out, and then you're switching back to white to survive. The black one will already be damaged, so once again, release, change polarity to get through the black one, and then change straight back. Now, I would stop firing before you release here, otherwise you may accidentally kill it with your shot and be hit by additional black bullets that you weren't anticipating. And with the two black ones gone, just finish off the left side of the boss with your white shot, and after that you will just be absorbing white, quickly switching black to fire it, and then turning straight back to white again. Now when you switch black to fire, you can occupy the space used by these black bullets, which will keep you safe. Now for the bouncing popcorn, just sweep left and right and destroy them. They're incredibly hard to chain. I've never done it myself personally. Alright, time for Uzura, whatever. So take out one colour basically. So I stay black, sit in the black shots, and take out all the towers that are white. That way you have less to worry about in terms of switching and dodging, but eventually the boss will move so fast that you'll have to be constantly changing in order to survive. Ideally you want to stay in the top left corner, and these crates, boxes in the middle, will move anti-clockwise and force you to weave in and out. And also pay attention to the fact that they do move along this axis as well. So eventually you'll have taken out a few of the white towers, so it's easier to survive, and as they come around again you'll be just finishing them off. You may have to do a bit more switching. You know, keep firing black shots at the black towers just to rack up a little bit of damage. When the boss has lost enough of its towers, it's when it will begin to fire the fat laser streams. By that point, it should be mostly just black towers remaining, so you can quickly switch to white polarity if it's safe to do so, and fire off your missiles. So you can then sit in the laser and accrue a lot of charge. Now as soon as the white laser comes back into your path, turn to its colour and spam missiles, and that should be it. So that does it for stage 3. Definitely when the game decides to ramp up in stage 3. Let's move on to stage 4 then. Definitely a run ender for most people for the longest time. So you use the diagonal shots again of these ships to destroy them before they appear. You can stay white to avoid the shots at the bottom. Eventually you'll see the black starting to come in, so switch to it. Simple stuff. Now the dreaded satellite. I've heard it called the flower as well, because of the kind of concentric patterns. Now the general rule here is to fire and then switch. No, sorry, switch and then fire, switch and then fire. If you're moving left, you want to be white generally, and if you're moving right, you want to be black, because that's the way the shots are going. Now here is where I begin to just fire to clear myself a path. So you switch and then fire. So you'll be, it's only switch when you realise you have to. Generally stay around the bottom area of the screen. If you start getting pushed upwards, maybe switch and then fire missiles to get yourself some room. Get some free chains here, which is nice. Move back in so you don't get caught. Yeah, stick around this part of the screen and kind of only really don't move around wildly, just move if you have to. The lower half of the screen is probably safer, but you can dip down to get yourself some room. And remember to watch for shots coming in from the popcorn on the outside as well. It's only individual shots, so it's not too much of a problem. For this section, I like to stay white at the top here, do a bit of damage before the black lasers force you to move right, and yeah, fire a missile and just thread your way back through by switching as necessary. As you'll be constantly building up laser charge as well, so as soon as it's safe, as soon as you're not having to switch and dodge and release another missile, and you should be able to take it out quickly. Section is simple enough, just shoot the popcorn that's coming down towards you to survive, or you can stay on the left here and rack up some easy chains when they get to about there, when they intersect. So I'll just move back. So they intersect, and that's when the chain appears, when they've already beginning to pass each other. I explain that because it's very low risk. Here, once again, just stick to one colour and take it out. So take out all the white pods. I choose white because it's easier to see against this background. Oh yes, these kind of gates at the bottom, while the turret is going on, you can fly all around the bottom of the screen. You won't, until the turrets appear here later, you can safely fly through all of this. See, now they've appeared is when you can't fly there. For this bit, watch out, they fire a bit quicker than you'd imagine. I'm racking up some damage here with white shot, but you don't have to do that. You can just stay black. Yeah, finish it off by just sitting in front of it. There you go. The popcorn here will fly in from all different directions, and they will always aim where you are, so just be aware of that. Just only dodge when they are kind of coming towards you and about to hit you. Instead of, if you fly around all over the screen, it means they'll all be aiming all over the screen. It'll be a lot harder to deal with. These rings that appear, there'll be a gap at the bottom which you can duck down and take them out. And watch out for the second one, because this guy usually appears in the bottom here, and it's probably in exactly the same spot where the gap was that you dodged before. Alright, stage 4 boss is a absolute bitch, and I do feel like the easiest way to do it is the speed kill strategy, and it's essentially the only one I know at this point. So you can stay at the immediate left edge of the screen here. I can't move any further left, so that's an easy way to line up your shot to do some early damage on this door. And the way the boss works is you break down the doors, which are alternating colours, and once the doors are broken down you can finally shoot the core, as it were, and the core is white. However, these zigzaggy laser streams do alternate in colours, so you have to time your dodges very precisely. Not your dodges, you're passing through the stream. You see, I've moved through the first, and now I'm doing white damage to the black door, which is desired. And the idea is that we're going to try and get these doors open enough to sit right in the channel here. That this little dodge here is quite tough. I appear to have sat between the two streams. Now, I don't think that was really a conscious decision. I just did it, which is quite odd, really. Let's go back. I mean, when there is enough time to, if you start at the top of the little black section here, there is enough time to, if you're gradually moving, to pass through the second stream while the black laser is still active. Now, what I've done here is I didn't actually manage to damage the door enough so that when I missile, it doesn't all hit the core. It in fact hits the other doors as well. But all that means is that I'll just have to survive here a bit longer now. Tap your way through until this point to follow the path, because you can't hit these yellow sections. And the core will then fire a constant white stream at you, which will push you outwards towards the shot, so you have to be tapping back towards the boss the whole time, against the flow as it were, and as your gauge fills, release it to 2 full charges instead of I would suggest releasing it to 2 full charges because it's less inputs and it's probably more efficient than doing what I'm doing here, which is spam. But eventually it will stop and you can switch to black again. Hopefully you should still have a charge which you can release at this point. If not, just blast away. It's a very tough boss. If you don't do the speed kill strategy, it will begin to fire additional laser streams at you, which make just surviving it in a simple method even harder. So I'd recommend going for one of the speed kill strategies. Okay, here's an alternate strategy for the stage 4 boss. Now, start the fight already black. Don't be white like I am here, so I have to switch instantly. Now, if you hold right before you gain control of the ship, just keep it held and you will manage to slip right here. You'll bypass this laser altogether if you are the colour black. You want to be black so that you can do damage to the first door as soon as you get there. So we're already hitting it here. So follow it through, switching accordingly. Now for this dodge here, you can see I move straight across. I'm showing this alternate strategy because this was the one that I used for the longest time before I learnt the quicker one in order to score. But you may find this one a bit easier. Now if you see here, you have to dodge diagonally to account for the delay in the second black laser coming out. So you want to generally be in the middle of the screen, so that's when you're going to have to time your dodges so that you can just be moving right when you arrive in this portion of the screen, and you can move right through the lasers and arrive back in the middle again. So if you manage to do this properly, as it slows down and begins to rotate in the other direction, you'll have ample time to finish off the last couple of gates and get into this little tunnel here. At this point you just fire black as much as you can into the core. As soon as you can't hit it anymore, release black missiles, then switch to white in order to absorb the stream. And then once again we are tapping back into the stream and constantly missiles. So hopefully that one will be a bit easier, but as I say, the boss is a bitch and a bit of practicing has to be done. Alright, stage 5, let's do this! Okay, for this first section, all of these popcorn will be aimed at your position. So start upwards and then gradually move your way down. Now you'll have to find gaps between them and to dodge them effectively and get to the bottom of the screen. Once you've moved downwards, most of them will spawn above the bottom line, which means that they will fly to the position you were just at and will be eaten up by your shot. You can hit missile as a panic option if you feel like you're about to collide, although you'll have to do it sooner rather than later. For this lot, just white shots coming down. After the second wave there'll be one wave of black enemies. Now stay in the middle, switch to white, release, switch to black, same. Now for these guys will come at you, once again they are aiming on your position, so if you stay in the center you can move in a clockwise circle outside them and kind of weave through them like a corridor. Now, what I would also do after, when the first wave are coming down, is hit a missile at them just to make sure and get into this rhythm of going around in circles, and occasionally just keep firing missiles off anyway. Now for this lot, just stay white until the last lot, the third lot, then switch to black. That white homing shot, Wyoming? The white homing shot will is a homing shot, however, just move away from it and curl around in a circle, and that should throw it off. For these guys, just stay white and absorb all their shots. You can try and kill them by releasing missiles, but I would only do about 3 of them because you're going to want a full charge heading into the final boss. Or the final boss alley, whatever you call it. There's only this version that they added the warning sign here. Before I had considered it just part of the stage. So I'll run you through my strategy. So I start underneath the third head over, the second white head, hit it with a missile, then hit the first white head with shots. Once this kind of grid of shots is coming at you, that is when I would sit in front of the black one, sit in the white shot as they cross over in order to build up charge very quickly. So release a full charge at it, release a half charge at it, keep shooting, it should be done. Now the thing about these 4 heads is they'll start to fire a big old homing shot at you soon enough, about the 70-second mark here, and in a pattern. They'll go from left to right, so they'll be going black, white, white, black in terms of homing shots. However, you should be able to kill the first snakehead before the black shot comes out, so it will just be white, white, black. Now, as you know they're coming, you can, in time, move out of the stream you're in. So I knew it was coming, so I could sit in white here and take that shot. You'll want to be hitting it with the opposite colour to try and finish it. And finish it you will quite quickly because we've already damaged them a bit and you're getting a quick charge up. This is quite tough. I mean, you're dealing with the grids, the random shots coming at you, and the homing shots. So this will take some practice. For this last one, you want to be trying to kill it as soon as possible, but if you feel pressured, don't hesitate to just switch to black and hang out down there in the black shots. And you want to be carrying a full charge into the next section too. Alright, the infamous 2 snakeheads. Seriously, fuck these guys. Okay, so we've got a full charge of black here. We're going to take out the white one first. Make sure you're hitting it with both of your lasers as well when you can start doing damage. So these snakeheads will follow you around. They'll pick up speed as they're going in a straight line, so what you'll want to be doing is moving in a circle, and so they don't fill the screen with shit, basically. And when 2 of them come out, hopefully you will have damaged this first snakehead enough so that releasing black missiles will finish it off, and when that happens you'll get a screen clearage. And what happens to me is I'm pretty much about to take a hit when the screen gets cancelled. Now what that also does is reset the snakes, so hopefully you'll be in a position where you can start your circle again and you'll... Yep. So as you move around, switch to the same you want to be building up missiles and releasing white missiles first of all to do more damage, but you'll be wanting to change to the same colour as the trail you're heading into. So as they're making a mess, you're cleaning it up. Unfortunately, the shots coming in from the sides make this very difficult. So I feel like a bit of improvisation is needed for this section. Now, as you can see there, I just had to change polarity very quickly in order to get through. That's most of the time you'll have to be pulling off crazy moves like that. Alright, so the yin yang ball, Tagiri himself. I mean, at this point it's quite self-explanatory what you have to do. Just switch to the colour of laser that's coming at you. Sorry, let's move back a bit. Alright. So, as the laser hits, after they've hit your ship, release missile and instantly change over. Now the timing for this is you want to make sure you're not just spamming buttons, because then you'll die. If your timing's off, you might get ahead of yourself and switch too early and get hit. You want to be tap dodging, kind of tapping to get away from the additional shots, because unfortunately if you move too much or perhaps do a little circular dodge, one of the homing shots will miss and then loop back around and hit you after you've changed, which is a possibility. So just keep it calm, make sure you're releasing before you switch again. And the missiles will increase in speed as the boss takes damage, as will the shots coming onto the screen, so it basically just gets more and more intense. So you're almost kind of releasing and switching in a kind of da-da rhythm, like da-da, 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 da-da. If that makes any sense. Now, because the fucking Steam version practice mode doesn't let you go to the true last boss, I had to play a full run in order just to get a recording there. So let me load that up real quick. Alright, here it is, the Stone Lake. There's no firing here, you just have to switch and survive for just a minute. Just have to survive a minute. So here, left and right, pretty self-explanatory. Watch out for the aimed shots that are now coming towards you. Just be aware of them. Hopefully by this point you're good enough at the polarity system to be able to just fly right into a shot that's the same colour as you. No problem. Now here, I tend to move in a kind of a tight figure of 8 in this section of the screen. It's hard, it's tough, but you need that's why I wish you could just play this part when you only play stage 5 on the Steam version. Then maybe there's a mod or something, because having to do a whole run just to get a go at this is bullshit. It hasn't been like that in any of the other games, as far as I'm aware. I've played the Dreamcast version and the GameCube version. Might even be worth using a Dreamcast emulator just to practice this section if you want to get good at the game, because even if you're trying to score well, you need as many additional lives at the end in order to get a huge end of game bonus. So practicing this section is basically paramount. I mean, if you're just going for the survival clear, hopefully you've got enough lives in stock by this point to to brute force your way through. But anyway, so figure of 8. It's random what colour walls are coming at you in groups of 2. So as you can see, there's a slow 2 wall of black shot with a white wall that moves faster straight through it. So in the rhythm of it, I'm kind of changing twice. I hope that's noticeable. I'll go back a bit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, while moving in that figure of 8. Now this pattern is horrific. It seems simple enough, you know. You just make sure you're the right colour to move through the shot, and the lasers will come in from the side. However, as it gets faster and faster, you have to keep in mind which colour's coming from the side, and the bullets will start to cross over as well. And I've heard that it's easier to see what you're doing to see the correct path through the further up you are. So that may be worth consideration. Maybe if you're right near the end, there'll be some kind of breathing room to pull back a bit and look for your moment to pass through. I won't lie, I'm terrible at this section. I've played the game for fucking a long time and I'm still not good at this section. I can't do it 100%. Because it's just so visually confusing, you know. You feel like there may be a way through, as I do here. Alright, let's have a look at where I die there. The only death in this video, but not that matters. Yeah, well, moving on. You know, hopefully you'll be able to stand just one death. Alright, let's see if I can say anything more about this fucking pattern. Yeah, so further up, you know, you can see it is more clear, the groupings of shots. So do try to move up. What's happened here to me is that I have been moved downwards, being slow to make the decision to move upwards. So that is a constant danger. So yeah, hopefully some of this has been useful to somebody having a struggle with certain sections of the game. I have another bit of recording for the true last boss, so let's look at that. One thing that may help for using the PC version is I would turn all the graphics settings down to the lowest possible. That way you don't have... It's clearer the distinctions between enemies, bullets, where you can safely fly to. If there's tons of anisotropic filtering or the pixel shading effect or whatever, that can make it more unclear and too blurry, I think, to learn how to play effectively. Ah, bloody hell, that was so close. Alright. So hopefully that's been useful. Thanks for watching.